Okay, so welcome back. Let's continue our session. One thing that we missed so far is two Italian ministry made some proposals that came after the call for issues. We want to give them due consideration, and they are also participating online today. I hope they are at this moment there, and I would like to give them 5 minutes, but please only 5 minutes, to introduce their proposals, which you can also find on our wiki on the list of proposals. Underneath the table, you will see that those are new proposals. They are not in the clustering yet. They are not considered by the subject matter experts because they came just last week, but we will take them into consideration when doing the final program. Rainer, could you see if they have?
Hello?
So please, yes, please, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. We, how can I say, we would like to participate by submitting topics about cybersecurity and blockchain issues related to the categories innovation and economic issues and security and crime. Our submissions are the number 183 and 184. Okay, and then we just want to spend few words about this topic because the Ministry of Economic Development, within the framework of the European Blockchain Partnership, is developing various innovative initiatives within the group of the EU member countries, and is provided in 2020 that the ministry will host at least one network node of the EBSI, European Blockchain Service Infrastructure, creating a blockchain platform. And concerning the security topic, the Ministry of Economic Development has established within the ISCOM, that is the Institute of ICT within the Ministry, the National Evaluation and Certification Center, called CVCN, in order to analyze security conditions and the absence of vulnerabilities of products. And that's why we were speaking about the security, about equipment and systems intended to be used for strategic networks. So considering that we have read the other proposals, we just think that there are some actually related to our topics, and we would like to suggest something that we have identified. For cyber, there are some other submissions that are similar to our issues, that are number 166 and 105. And for blockchain, 148, 149, and 150. What I want to mean that if we can arrange our topics within that categories, we can ask to connect our speeches within these other topics already accepted. Okay, we would be very interested anyway in participating, for example, in the organizing team, where we can cooperate about these two issues, the blockchain, or the security and crime, or innovation economic issues, the two categories. This is our idea.
Thank you very much, Gianfranco. This is very much appreciated that you submitted those proposals. When you submitted them, I have already forwarded them to the subject matter experts, and since you already were very clear with which proposals you see yourself to be aligned, they will look into more detail after this meeting and after we decided for which sessions we would like to go. And I would kindly suggest you to keep a close contact to the host, or even better to subscribe to the EuroDIG newsletter, where we inform constantly about the next step, how to get involved, how to join the org teams, and so on and so forth. We would be very happy if you could join any of the org teams, even if 1 or 2 proposals are not 100% considered, I'm sure you will find ways of collaboration with other submitters via this channel too.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions by email. I mean, we communicated already.
Okay, may I introduce our colleague, Emanuela Girardi, that she's going to speak about the other 3 submissions that we proposed from the Ministry of Economic Development. Okay, I leave the floor to her.
Yes,
thank you.
Absolutely. And for your information, participants can see those proposals also on the screen, so they have them also visible. Please go ahead.
She's not here anymore.
Oh.
I can't see.
Okay.
Oh, yes, maybe.
Then I would suggest I read them out and we can follow up with Emanuela individually. So one is on the category Access and Literacy, how to develop digital alphabetization programs for elders to avoid the digital divide. I think a lot of the discussion today went already in this direction. We were looking into educational and curriculums for children, but of course we also touched upon the older generation, so I think that can be easily covered. Then under the category Human Rights and Data Protection, the Brain-Computer Interface, BCI initiatives, and CRISPR gene editing experiments. How far can we go? Is there a limit? I think this needs some more explanations what these abbreviations mean, but this is something that we can sort out easily. Auke can answer. Perfect. Later on. And then we have innovation and economic issues create more awareness on the index of sustainability, of sustainable economic welfare, a genuine progress indicator instead of the GDP index. I think that's a very specific topic that will definitely feed into one of the discussions about economic and innovation issues. Okay, would you clarify what Chris
Can you hear me? This is Emanuela. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Okay, good. Sorry, I just joined. And so which one of the 3 topics that I added do you want me to more specify? The 3 of them or just the last one? Or the second?
If you are brief, you're invited to talk about the 3 of them. But
okay, perfect. Okay, I will try to. Okay, the first one is about the digital alphabetization of the elderly people. So basically, I think that since I'm not really worried about the digital divide among young people, I think that to avoid the digital divide, I mean, among elderly people, we definitely need to develop some cultural programs to teach them, since they used how to use like smartphone. Definitely, they need to learn how to use digital technologies. And so I think that we should develop some programs to include them in this new AI society, digital society, and to somehow to make them part of the new society. So this is the first part, yes. The first program. The second part, I'm very concerned about the brain-computer interfaces that they are developing, because mainly they say that they are mainly used to help people with some kind of impairments, and so if they have a problem with their arts or something else. But the problem is that in reality, there aren't really some... can I zoom the document? Sorry, I just checked. In reality, basically, there is no really ethical control on how they're used them and how they will be used in the future. So I think that especially for this kind of interfaces and also for gene editing, we should probably define some new governance. And I think that this is very important topics. And the last topic, actually, I think that it's very interesting, because basically instead of using the traditional index to to basically monitor and control the economic growth, we should start developing new index that are also taking into consideration the welfare of people and the digital education and how our society are becoming really, digital society, and also how, we are bringing people into this new society. And so really to measure all these different index. I hope this is clear. I try to be very, very, concise. I don't know if you understood the topics or if I need to go more into details.
Are there questions from the people in the room? Okay, you have a question or comment? Where's the mic? There's the mic.
Yeah, maybe for the audience, it's not really clear what CRISPR means. CRISPR is gene editing with a
gene editing, yes.
Yeah, with IVF, for instance. I'm really asking myself the question: is this a topic that has to be discussed at this? I guess it definitely is an emerging technology. However, I don't think it belongs to internet governance.
I think that it was gene editing, you're right. That was specifically, I think that more than gene editing, it was more the brain-computer interface, that it was more part of this, because basically, it will be connected to the network, and so through internet as well. And so I think that this was my concern for this part, more than gene editing. So for this, definitely you're right.
Okay, and Emanuela, you're already starting basically a discussion of an org team, which is great. So, Emanuela, basically this is the way of getting involved. If you think that belongs to our agenda and that belongs to a session, then please join that org team where you think it belongs to. And the org team is the place to discuss further to which extent it belongs or not belongs to the workshop. But this is the way how it would go. And this is basically part of our multi-stakeholder dialogue.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry for just jumping in at the very last minute, but I couldn't join you today.
No, we are very happy that you joined us, and we could also see you in full
okay.
brightness on the screen. So thank you for using your camera. Much appreciated.
Okay. Thank you. So I will join, as you said. I will follow up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
John?
Should I go first? Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's Olivier Crépin-Leblanc speaking. Just on the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain topic, this is indeed in the innovation section. And I've also looked at the numbers that you've provided for 148, 149, and I believe 109 as well. That actually forms a cluster now. So I know that we had looked at our list, and we hadn't allocated innovative uses of blockchain and crypto to anything. And so I wonder whether there's still a space for a workshop on this, Sandra. Have you counted how many workshops and how many spaces we have now?
I have counted the workshops, and this would have been my next step. So let me share my screen with you. We have now 19 topics that are suggested for a workshops, while there are at least 2 potential ones, basically from the category media and content, that could be merged with, one is in economic and one is in literacy. So that would bring us down to 17, and we have 16 slots.
When you merge 2, you can only detect 1.
No, 2 can be merged with 2 others.
Okay.
Sorry, I was not clear about this.
Sorry.
So if you look at our matrix, with access and literacy, we were quite clear. There was no big discussion. Plenary was clear. Community networks in rural area, first of all regulation and then best practices. That might be an opportunity that we take only one session and 2-fold it, so that we try to cover both aspects in one session. That might be a compromise that we have to go in the end. Then we would save 1 more slot. Building digital skills, in particular of educational curricula, was something that there was mutual agree on, also because other proposals went into that category. On internet governance, we had no workshop, but the plenary, no, sorry, we had a workshop about tech diplomacy and interdependence challenges of internet standardization processes, but we found out that there is also a connection with the two others, one from the security and one from the technical category, and this needs to be revisited on the desk. We cannot do this here right now. We might save one more spot, but as it was proposed to discuss DHO on two different forums, we might get out of the 3, 2. Let's
DOH.
Sorry, DOH. Let's see where we end up. There's a bit uncertainty at the moment. Then we have 3 sessions, 3 workshops for human rights. One was security and data protection in the southeastern European region in relation to EU regulations. One was privacy in Europe, the GDPR issue, and one was the decentralized digital identity. I think there was also agreement that these should remain in our portfolio. Then we have on the category economic development and innovation and economic issues, we had the smart cities. This was still something that we were not sure if this has enough potential to form a workshop or if we might skip that topic. And we had this big thing, algorithms, deep learning, competition and trust, where we discussed a lot about it, and where also the disinformation, deep fake and these kind of things might, at least to a certain extent, feed into it. On the category media, we had mutual agreement that we keep the copyright issue, national implementation in particular. We are sure we will end up with one workshop about social media. We just have to see, is it more about the positive aspects, is it more about this disinformation and how to fight it, and deep fake and these kind of things. And then there was one proposal about aspects of social media for vulnerable groups, citizens and old people, and this was something where we said this can go into the media, into the, I'm getting tired now, into the building digital skills workshop that we had on media, access and literacy. On the security topic, there was, this is a flash. This is a flash session, a special. This was a standalone topic. Then on the security topic, we had 3 proposals, while one was under discussion with the 2 other categories. We will see what comes out of that. And pretty clear on the technical category, we had universal acceptance and DOH, while DOH is also under discussion how we are going to handle it. And then also challenges and uptakes on modern internet standards, IPv6, DNSSEC, and these kind of things. So this leaves us at the moment with, let's say, 19 plus minus, or rather minus, because we have to go down to 16. But this is really something where we have to look more into the depth, taking also into account what we just heard from the ministry. I think we will be hopefully able to come up with a first consolidated draft next week. That needs a lot of effort from the SME. We have to reconvene all again. We have to see if we can find a day or a time when to do it. But I think we have kind of an agreement where we want to go. There are 2 or 3 issues that would be resolved. After we have the program ready, the draft ready, we will publish it for comments again. And this will last for like 2 weeks, and then we will immediately start reaching out for focal points and org teams. Jon, you have a comment?
Yeah, just regarding the proposals we just heard, the human brain or computer brain interface, I think it could be quite well merged with the machine learning and human rights issue, because you need machine learning to make it work. And it is also something that we could have as a small presentation, because I think those things are very nice to see. As the same with the deep fakes. So we could have a series of demonstrations where people actually see how far these technologies are already developed.
Very good. Okay, any other questions or comments on the proposal side? Is something unclear, something is in disagreement, or can everyone live with, oh, two, Roberto and Chris, please.
I'll just say them very quickly, and it's somewhat in relation to Roberto, but I just wanted to be on the record. I think earlier when we talked about the environmental sustainability session, you drew a very strong link between that and the fact that we might be able to interface with another event that's going on, and I think that's very good and very positive, and I hope that would be great to do. The point I just wanted to make was I think even if that can't happen, and I know that's still something that we're working on, even if it can't happen, I still think that sustainability and environmental concerns should be a plenary session, just to put that on the record. So, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to have an updated copy circulated because that's substantially changed from...
The final presentation, which includes the updated and also the documents, they will be all published on the website, but please bear with us, give us until the beginning.
No, in case, just to think about it in the next 24 hours, if we can get just a working copy about the changes, because I don't remember them all.
Okay, no problem. And then let's just have a very quick look on...
Why they do the brain computer.
On those issues that are as standalone issues. You see we have a lot of interesting topics. We will offer the submitter to organize a session on this or a presentation on this. From the experience we know not everyone will take that opportunity, so there will be 3 slots again. But from the experience we also know that some proposals will still come in saying, hey, I would like to do something at EuroDIG, is there a possibility? And then we have the flexibility in this presenters slot. Be creative and let us know how we can call them apart from Flash. Flash we would not like to call them. Is that a hand raise? Yeah.
Thank you. It's Olivier again. I was listening to what the ministry had suggested regarding blockchain and regarding the different other workshops that they had identified. So 148, 149, 150. There's also 109 cryptocurrencies, which is a little bit different. But I also now looked at the one that's got a blue dot now, which is the decentralized digital identity, and they all, I think out of the 4 that are listed there, 11, 29, 147, and 150, 3 of them mention blockchain. So I wonder whether the ministry's proposal could be folded into this.
Olivier,
I don't know whether they're still online.
Give us a solution next week.
Well, if they're online, then have a look at 11, 29, 147, and I think you've mentioned 150 already. So let us know if you think you could fold this topic into the decentralized digital identity. Thank you.
Okay, if someone from the ministry, I don't think it's easy for them now to read them all through, think through it.
In time, yeah. Next week.
Should move that to next week, exactly. Okay, then I go back for a last time to the program, how that looks now.
You were referring to the proposal of the ministry right now? I don't think it matches with the decentralized identity, but might match with the use cases of blockchain, because it's a different type of setting where you have a kind of a permission blockchain which is used by ministries to the decentralized ID approach, and to put every kind of use case together makes it a bit not really specific. So I would rather not merge them.
Sorry, I have to stop that now.
I
this
think
goes too much into detail. We are losing the time.
We'll follow up afterwards.
Because this is really something where the both of you and maybe another SME have to look at it in detail and see where we can accommodate the additional proposals that came in later. Sorry for that. Okay, so last time again, this is how the program looks like. You had time over the coffee break to think about it. Any comments, any last changes that you would suggest, any concerns that you have? Day 1, day 2 are basically identical. I see a problem on day 0 with the many proposals that are up. Let's see how we solve this. Valentina, where's the mic?
I have no problem with the program, but I was wondering, at some point it came up, there was still room to change the theme or to think about it? The overarching theme?
The overarching, no.
Good, I like this approach. No, but I wonder how much it reflects, because now, you know, there is a clear direction considering the plenary. So I'm wondering how much now the overarching theme matches the content.
Frederick likes that you open up this case. So this is the overarching theme towards a sustainable governance of the internet.
No, I am the one who said the Secretariat should decide the theme. So I agree with your approach. I just wonder how much it matches the content now of what we have.
Basically, it was Chris and Andrea coming up.
No, me. Well, the team, no. Me was the idea. The Secretariat decides, and that's it. But yeah.
Give the mic to Chris.
I mean, I think it's an important point that Valentina raises. In as much as I think we're having sort of looked at the program and having set some of these the topics for the plenaries, as we go forward now, let's make sure we do keep in consideration that the focus here of EuroDIG is about governance, and that the approach should be looking at how we can build sustainable governance processes. I think in that sense, hopefully that the theme can help to keep some focus as people develop the content in my optimistic Pollyanna-ish kind of approach.
Okay, you don't want to have your wine. Thomas, Frederick, Auke.
I'll be very brief. I think the expectation to go towards sustainable governance can be used in all the sessions as the key questions in the end, like, okay, what is the way towards sustainable governance with that particular focus, with that focus? So I think it makes still sense. So I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'll be very pragmatic. That's the reason why we have a D0, which is something that is outside of the scope of the real working day. So I'm not very concerned about the way we organize it. It's a D0, it's a fourre-tout. It's just we put there something that the community requests, but that might not specifically align with what we try to achieve with EuroDIG. It's a D0. I believe we should feel a little bit more relaxed about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I really want to say that I really like the link of the overarching theme with the other conference taking place with the little wink. So I propose not to talk about the overarching theme.
And also we should not forget that we aligned it somehow with the ESOF topics, so this was also something. And when you look at the overall, I mean, this is still the old matrix, the new matrix looks a bit different, you will get it. But if you look, for instance, here in the middle, you can see we try to introduce tracks. Here. This one. This is one track, and this basically is the governance track, where we discuss the interplay of digital cooperation, legislation and standardization. And this is also something that we tried a little bit last year already, but we will make it in the program clear that this is a line to follow if you are purely interested into internet governance. Then we have two smaller tracks. One is about data governance and data security, where we have 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5. We have to see how it looks in the end. And then we have one track that is about access and all matters D&I, so more like these technical issues that people might be interested to. That is also something that we try to achieve, and I think we have been pretty successful in achieving those different tracks where we have the categories that come in the horizontal way, and that we now have tracks that are going through it in a vertical way. This is basically what this matrix shows and how we processed all the proposals. Okay. Any last comments on the program, structure, proposals, issues? Okay, if this is not the case, then give me 5 minutes to show you. 3 minutes, okay. Okay, is it there? It is.
5 seconds, not 5 minutes.
Can we somehow? Okay, that could be the new website. That would be the entry page, a picture from the Brussels meeting, if you still remember.
Are those real people?
Yes, those are real people.
You have the consent?
They gave it in Brussels already. And basically what we were trying to achieve with the new website is not just to have, I mean, first of all, it was a technical issue that we had to go to a new website because we were out of date in terms of technical matters, and updating it all would have been half as much as costly as building a new one. Secondly, the old website, I still like it very much, had one big glitch, I would say. The glitch was that the get involved and the participation process was always in parallel to what our information about the event have been on the website. So there were 2 tracks, and the visitor had to jump between the 2 tracks in order to see, one, how to get involved, but then on the other hand, how to find information about hotel travel and so on and so forth. So our aim was to bring that together, that you visit the website, you get pulled into the process immediately, and when you are in this process, you easily find how to get a hotel, how to register, how to apply for travel support, and so on and so forth. So, how is that working? Okay, not like this. So we will keep that element of this call to action button, the red ones that you will find on many pages. And, we will have a short intro and then go directly into the 3 main menu points, which is, of course, the EuroDIG 2020, but also our AG initiatives and everything about EuroDIG, what you need to know. We will also have a direct link to the messages from the last year, where we promote not only the past event, but also the messages. There was always a demand that we have to promote the messages a bit better in order to bring them to the policymaker. We want to make them more easily accessible, and in order to reach a broader community, so that they don't have to go to a PDF and then understand the PDF and find them somewhere in the PDF. We will condense it on 1 page. A news section and a testimonial section where you are all invited to say some nice words about EuroDIG, and then the usual stuff like the partners, the logos, newsletter, and our link to the wiki. That would be our entry page. Then we have the EuroDIG 2020. Or is that not working? Okay, I do it differently. I show you the old. This is how the event page would look like. We have the image and the overarching theme in the header. The call for issues is the first thing that would come. And when you click on the call for issues, you would come to a site where you will be able directly to integrate your proposal underneath. So the aim was to make it as easy as possible. Then we have pages like About. They would look like this, where we link directly to the IGF, where we link to our statutes, to our membership, to our board, and how to become a EuroDIG host as well as how to become a donor. But basically, this new website will be very smaller, I mean, not smaller in terms of content, but we will try to limit the navigation opportunities to a minimum, which is basically the event, is the last event, the European initiatives, and about. These are the main menu buttons, and this is where we will concentrate on.
No archives? Yeah, I should have that.
The archives, we will only use in the future the wiki. We will strengthen the wiki, and also, I mean, we have since 2014, we have transcripts, reports, and everything there, and also the years before, that was a point where we discussed quite a lot, right? That we said the archive is the wiki. So in order to strengthen the wiki, so that people also get more acquainted with the wiki.
All things that are related to the event should go to the wiki and should be found in one place. That was the idea behind.
So are you gonna...
Everything that's content goes to the wiki, right?
Okay, thanks. Are you going to transpose what's currently in the archives? Because at the moment we've got EuroDIG 2008 onwards, and for each one you've got program from, so let's see, 2009 Geneva, program from Geneva, messages from Geneva, and 2009 photos. Are you going to transfer all these over or link those over?
That would be linked and transferred to the wiki, yes.
Okay, so you're not losing information.
The photos are on Flickr anyway, so we only have the program, and that's basically some PDFs. That's not a problem. We will not lose content from the archive.
Okay. Yeah, I was... Take the mic, please.
If everything is also on the wiki, and the wiki has such an important feature, would it be good to add it in the menu bar?
Good point. Very good point. You see it's here, but it's overlooked.
Oh yeah.
We have not found a solution yet together with the designer. We are working on this. They realized it, we realized it. We know that's not yet the solution. It is here on the bottom of the page, but of course this is not enough.
No.
And it's here like a stable ear, you could say. But if you look at it on the starting page, it's lost.
Yeah, I would put it
The
in
idea was...
oh yeah.
Sorry to answer this. The idea was to make it open at the first call of the page and then shrink it after 3 seconds or something like this, so that it will get a little bit more importance. But that's not realized on this draft just now, and we are not sure if it is sufficient.
Yeah, the white will disappear. And what happened to the blue with the logo?
We eliminated it. We were so confident that our claim and our font is strong enough to be recognized even without the blue. But yes, we insisted of having a blue logo at least in the header photo. It's a good question. I mean, would you think that's okay? We were discussing it, but when we saw the design, we kind of were in favor with it.
I were already convinced last year.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thomas?
Thank you. Just one thing about the wiki, and you would need to guide people to this, because, I mean, it's fine to put everything in the wiki as long as the program and the messages of every of the past EuroDIGs are visible there, but then you need, because not many people would like naturally go and know where the wiki is, even, and so on and so forth. So if it's guided that you say everything else you find in the wiki, blah, here, then it's fine. So, but it needs to be user-friendly, that also people that are not familiar with the concept of the wiki go there.
Yes,
so
that's the idea, and we also need to enhance the navigation in the wiki. That's quite clear.
I trust you, but just this message is
No,
important. And then with regard to, don't use a black thing. That's just my personal opinion. Stay with the blue, because the black this is not a funeral. Nobody uses black in what's the problem in just staying with the blue? That's my personal opinion. Just take note of it, do whatever you want. But I think black is a very, very bad color that you should not use. Just as
it's gray, basically.
It's worse. It's worse. Bright shirt, bright shirt.
Are we a gray process, my dear?
No, but the point, if you stay gray, it gives us the opportunity to highlight with blue. You see this EuroDIG 2020 is highlighted in blue.
No, but nobody cares about this. Highlight it differently, but stay with the blue. That's my personal
Can
opinion.
I ask for show of hand on the blue version? And on the black version? Okay, I said it's not a democratic process, right?
Let's discuss this over the up.
Okay, any other comments? Olivier?
Okay. Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. Youth doesn't want to give the mic away anymore. Okay. No, I have an issue with the photo, which is not representative of today's Europe, and that's because you've got 3 white males and 1 white female, and I wonder whether we could have something a little bit more mixed, with a, I'm not saying exact parity between men and women, but an age-wise, they're all young. I'm old. So I don't know how this obviously is a stock picture or something.
No.
It's not. Oh, I thought it was a stock picture.
It says it's a EuroDIG picture from Brussels.
Get a stock picture. Doctorate. Use fake, make one up. Or add people on this. I don't know. Just a thought, but because this is a sort of thing that people would notice. I remember a number of years ago, some people that came into the Internet Society and said, oh, I really wanted to join this organization. No, into ICANN. Said, I wanted to organize, to join ICANN because I actually found there were people from around the world and they all looked very different. And it wasn't just like this white male influence thing. So it does play.
Thomas, and then Marco.
If I may say 1 second, something about the picture. Actually, again, my personal opinion. This looks like a banking consultant company because there are 3 people rushing into a meeting consulting Credit Suisse. This has got nothing to do with dialogue. I would gender balance and things that put a picture that shows that people are talking and listening to each other and more than 3 people. That's again my. But this looks like a KPMG Fides consultancy type of thing.
Yeah. I have a question about accessibility. Is the website accessible?
This was conditioned to make it an accessible website. That's why there are also constraints at some point, yes.
Okay.
To a great extent, not 100, also not when it comes to mobile and these kind of things, then it becomes difficult. You have to get compromises, but yes, to a great extent accessible. But I like this argument, what you said, the rationale. First, the company chose a picture that was Jan Kleijsen, Olivier Brigin, and who else? I think these 4 sitting on a panel. And 2 men talking to Lisa. And I said, this is no way possible. First of all, it's way too personalized. It looks like Jan Kleijsen and Commission are running. So we said it must be something that is not so personalized, but still. And then we came up, because the EuroDIG is black and white, have the EuroDIG logo prominently in the picture. If you don't have it on the header logo. That was the rationale, because we came up. But I don't buy your point, and I think I can do that because I'm female. But I get your point. It's not dialogue, and it's not...
We do have good pictures of last EuroDIG with the informal setting, couchy thing.
Yeah.
And does the website meet the internet.nl standards? Like the session we had last year, where you can test your website?
We do that when it's ready.
Okay. We want 100% score.
Okay. So my question would be, I would need 2 or 3 maximum volunteers that click through that site and give us a little bit more detailed feedback. Who would that be? Okay. Julia, very good. Then we have at least age balance. Elisabeth? Then we have gender balance. Another woman? Two? Okay.
I can be the another woman, no problem.
Okay. We will share these mock-ups with the 4 of you, and are happy to get any feedback on the details possibly, and also where you realized, oh, basically this is not the right way to click through a certain thing, because we are already blind, we already looked at it too much, so we need a fresh eye on it.
But the problem is it's not a clickable dummy. It's basically static pages. So that's another way.
We will solve that. We will solve that with the company. I'm also surprised that I cannot click through it, but maybe it's because here my screen is shared.
No, it wasn't that intended, as far as I see.
And in addition to criticizing some details, I'd like to thank you for a great job that you've done. Just that this has been great.
On the website, or? Thanks.
Das sieht wirklich aus wie eine Consulting-Bude. Die sehen so aus.
No, yeah, I was wondering if you can have, there are websites, you know, that you can have at least 3 pictures, yes, 3 pictures, that 3 or 4.
Ideally would be something that rolls so you can have several pictures.
So in this way we can have this, but also the dialogue and also the young and the youth.
Question, do you really see an advantage in this, because we want to bring them to the content further down? I made the feeling that I got distracted with this bling, 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 bling.
Yeah, not 300, of course, but 2 or 3. Yeah, I agree. But by the way, sorry, Olivier would hate that. Would have hated that. So better that you didn't choose.
If you let me, we just read the Swiss IGF website, and we were looking, for instance, at the RightsCon website, and they also have like a tonus of 3 pictures. One is a close-up of people discussing. One is a holistic picture where you see people queuing to get in. So if you have 2 free pictures, you can highlight different sites. And you may even leave this one, but add 2 people discussing intensely, adding a total where you have 200 people in a room. So it gives you a little bit more ways to give a feeling of how this is working.
The problem is accessibility. If you have more than one picture, it's nearly not for these people.
Do they have to see the pictures, or is that really a must for?
But that's the question.
Accessibility.
They need to be able to read and navigate, but if they miss one of the pictures, you can describe it, say, picture with people, blah, 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 and then they...
Can I? Additional questions. When we say European IG initiative, it means that there are the links to all the national regional initiative in Europe that we have, as we have today. And there is also the link to the documents that they produce, and the documents of the global IGF. View that now the global IGF is copying us and producing messages.
This is how the page would look like for the national and regional IG initiatives. We have the map. This map would be interactive, so when you click on Albania, show on the map, it would appear here. We would have space underneath to link to the website itself. We do not believe it would be the best idea to publish the reports and everything, because then we would have an additional issue to run after the reports, to run after their dates. We think linking to their website, and they are taking care of their website, that all the documents are there, should be enough.
Sometimes it's not easy to find the English version.
Sometimes they don't even have an English version.
Just one point, don't call it IG initiatives, call it IGF initiatives, because internet governance initiatives, you have millions out there, so that's misleading. Call it IGF initiatives.
Okay.
Okay, and then one last thing regarding the picture again. Do you have release forms from the people whose close-ups you have? You need release forms, GDPR issues. So you need, if you recognize whatever XYZ, they need to have signed something saying, I'm okay with my picture being used on the front page of the EuroDIG website. This is why using stock photo is actually easier, because these are professional models that are basically have signed their image so they can be used for anything.
Would we really need this because we have the consent to that pictures are taken and published? Would we really need additional consent if we use it on a website because it's published?
If I may add something, I would avoid clearly identifiable VIPs, because then create why is this one on the picture, not the other one? If it's just like normal participants, 15 or young 2-3 people that are not appearing as VIPs, it's different. But yeah.
Those people know that they will be on the front page. I'm sorry.
Die haben ja Ausdauer.
When you agree that your picture will be published in kind of a series of picture reporting, it's not the same as being front page on the organization for years to come. So people need to know that.
And because you can't ask 9 people on a picture, so that would actually speak for generic. But yeah, let's look into the picture thing maybe later, but these are relevant. Otherwise, we just take some people from us and imitate something and pretend that it's a EuroDIG picture. And we all consent.
But then it looks again like a closed club if it's only us showing up. So we.
I was joking.
Okay, so we will take a closer look in this. We will share the website with. Have you taken notes of what the names are? Perfect. Okay, then this would be it. I'm really surprised for your energy. We are 45 minutes beyond our official end. I think the wine is warm already outside and the snacks are cold. But outside we prepared some snacks and wine for a small get-together. And of course, whoever would like to have a proper dinner, there are 2 nice restaurants around, but please self-organize. It was not really possible for us to do this in advance. That's why we used that great opportunity that we have here with the terrace and the snacks and the food. So enjoy, and you are invited, and let's self-organize what we do tonight. I thank you very much for your participation and hope that you stay in the process to come. Thank you. And also I thank in particular the online participants. This was, I think, the best and most active online participation we ever had. I'm really surprised and impressed. Also thanks to the technicians. Without any glitches and without any issues, we came through this meeting. Also Rainer, who arrived a day earlier to make sure everything is in place. So I'm really delighted. Mr. President?
Yes, thank you, and let's go to the apéro.